turn on the blinding
the gym
light.
building thing. That's what it was.
What was it about the
Yeah,
gym
that was
building?
the last we talked about. So,
All right.
yeah.
I'm going to put this down here so it doesn't pick up on the mic there. You good, Alex? You good over there? All right, brother. Just be quiet all day. I know. Just be quiet
No
today.
thumbs, no
okay?
gestures.
And that.
I don't want to hear nothing out of you.
Smells nice. Typical Connecticut. All right, so let's kick this off. You ready to kick it off? Let's do it the right way. Oh, we never put an ending on the last thing we just recorded either.
Oh, what?
The ending? Like,
yeah, we can do that later.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Add it on. That was good.
cut it up or something. All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Gentleman's Corner. I am one of your hosts, Mr. Roman, Twisted Tea Tressler, and this over here is Mr. Dex, Dapper Dangerous Robinson.
As always.
And today, guys, we're going to be talking about various different things. But of course, if you've never been here before, welcome. We'll let you know what goes on here at the Gentleman's Corner. We like to have ourselves a little cigar and a drink. For me, it's a non-alcoholic one. But what we do is the conversations last as long as cigars are being smoked. And we will talk about anything from religion, politics, to current events, to
comic books,
you name it.
Relationships.
Yep. So
weird stuff.
Sit back, relax, grab a cigar, light up one with us here, and I promise eventually, guys, I'm going to do a video on everything you need to do if you're a beginner cigar smoker, from picking a cigar to all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
so with that, before we get started, we're going to go ahead and do a cut in the light. So today, guys, we are smoking our Don Lino Connecticut.
Don Lino.
And what is the... I don't even remember the which one it was. This just says Connecticut Toro, so it doesn't tell me which exactly brand, but black label looking thing. Smells good, should be mild. Smells pretty good. Let's see here. Let's see how my draw test is going to be. Not bad. Oh, I did not cut that even. Dang it. It'll be all right.
Actually, mine's just slightly uneven as well.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna toast.
Oh, that's got a very sweet.
Yeah, sweet, ain't it? Yeah.
Doesn't even have a sweet tip. It's very sweet right off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh man, almost like graham cracker, honey, whatever, something real sweet. I can't quite pick it up. The toast the here. Oh, by the way, guys, I am going to apologize. We have a fan going this time. It's too hot not to have one. So hopefully you guys won't be disturbed by the sound of a fan in the background. We're also trying something different with our mics, so please forgive us while we're still getting our setup just right. A little pepper in this one. Okay, so before we start anything, I always got to do a little taste test here. See what I got. I've obviously got pepper. Very strong pepper in the front end of here. Retrohale. A lot of pepper on this one. And that's a very dominant flavor I have for me on this is pepper.
Yeah.
Some spice.
It started off sweet, but that sweetness is kind of gone. Right now.
Well, it's the first. Give a little bit. Usually, sometimes the sweetness will pick back up after a few minutes, or you get to the second, third. Smoke is not very billowy, so it's kind of wispy.
Yeah, it is. I was wondering about that. I thought it was a fan, or I thought it was me.
It could be a couple of reasons that happens. It could be the humidity level. It is very humid out here, and unfortunately, I've had this outside with us. They were in the saran wrap, but that can affect it a little bit.
Those cigars are such fickle things.
They are very fickle. Sometimes this thing is called drying box. What they'll do is they'll take the cigar out of, because if you're like in Florida, and it's really, really humid out, or in an area where it's really, really dry, what you can do is sometimes they'll take the cigar out of their humidor, and they'll put what's called in a drying box. And they'll leave it in there for about an hour or so, and it gives it a little bit of time for it to equalize to the humidity outside. So, but we'll see.
Not bad. I like it. So, guys, today in the Gentleman's Corner, we do have some interesting topics, and they do kind of flow into each other. And the first thing we're going to talk about is, many of you guys know we have a business modern sword, which the website just launched today, so that'll be great. Well, at the time of the recording of this video,
Actually,
whenever you see it.
Actually, technically, it launched yesterday.
Oh,
It was yesterday it went live. Yesterday it went live.
Okay.
But I didn't make a post about it until today. But it went live yesterday.
Just in case we had technical difficulties.
Yeah, just in case. Actually, that was kind of the reason I wanted to make sure, like, oh, you know.
Yeah. But I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people like, hey, good job, and all sorts of stuff. People are excited for it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was actually talking to Phil.
Really? Filbert?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Talking to him today on the way home. So he might be coming out. That'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd look forward to seeing him again.
Boy got himself a girl, man.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Girl, man.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. Proud of that guy.
He always dressed real dapper, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He could be dapper dangerous.
He could be the OG.
Yeah, you feel
He gave me a whole bunch of ties. Like, I'm getting rid of. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You're like the tie guy.
That's like the tie guy, literally.
You know.
Dapper Brigadier. We got to bring you out here, man.
Yeah, it'd be nice, man. It'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
Old times.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but one of the things that I wanted to cover is literally being dangerous. All right, as a man, we all know that this is the gentleman's corner, and every show, usually when you're watching Hollywood and all this stuff, you see a gentleman. He's usually pretty skilled at something. You know, he's a good shooter. He's a sniper. He's great with a sword. Maybe he's a great boxer. You know what I'm saying? But in order to be a gentleman, you have to be dangerous.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because how can you be a gentleman that will defend your lady or, put your life on the line to defend your lady, but you have no skill set in anything? You know what I'm saying? You can't fight. You can't shoot. It's funny because this is one of the things that kind of got me into shooting, was understanding that as a man, we're supposed to provide and protect. But you can't protect if you're not skilled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to physically protect a woman, because, not for nothing, man, a lot of ladies talk about this, you got to protect me emotional bullshit, right? The reason I'm saying this bullshit is because you're the only one that can protect yourself emotionally when it comes down to things that you get offended by. Like, you have to choose that. I remember somebody told me I was retarded. I didn't like it, but it didn't cause me to react.
Remember, the mic's there this time.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta make sure we project that way. Sorry, guys. This
technical.
We're trying to get the best things for the mics that we got.
And the mics apparently are great at one area.
Yeah.
And it's great if everything is perfect. If everything is not perfect, they're hot trash. But we're working on it. We're building.
Give us time. We'll have good mics up eventually.
Yes, we will. So at the end of the day, it's really understanding that as a man, you have to be dangerous. And even when you think about it, everybody in the Bible, they were warriors.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? David was a warrior. Solomon was a warrior. Elijah was bold. He wasn't necessarily a warrior, but he faced people. Abraham was a warrior. Let's see what else we got. Solomon didn't really have to fight, though. But then you have people like Gideon. You know what I'm saying? People like Joseph, Jacob, what's his name? Judah, Simeon, Reuben, the 12 tribes. Those are guys. Those are fighters, man. Like, I can't wait for you to take a look at the book of Joshua. And this is a side note. You made a comment earlier when you were talking about canon, and I was just like, how do you have canon history? It's not a comic book, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody else said it before to me.
Well, a lot of things is they you got to remember too, and I know you know this. Not all works are considered to be divine inspiration. Yeah. So that's what we mean by canon. Like, is it was this divine inspiration? Was it in the Bible? Like, because there's story. I can't remember everything in the Bible. So if people say stuff, I'm like, I don't remember that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't remember. That's why I'm like, is that canon? Like, is that within the Bible, or is that like one of those the forgotten books of the Bible? That's kind of thing. That's why I asked.
That makes sense, because another one of my buddies who knows the Bible very well. Shout out to OZ. You know what I'm saying? We used to talk about this stuff. He's like, it's not canon. I'm like, bro, stop saying that. You can't say that with history. It's like saying, is the Revolutionary War canon? Like, you can't say that. It's like, you can say that it really happened. Yeah, you can say that. But canon, it's history, bro. You can't have non-canon history. Let somebody just lying to you. You know what I'm saying? So the reason I'm saying that is a lot of those books, like Enoch, like Joshua, I was gonna say I can't wait for you to read Joshua because it kind of goes over a lot more of the battles and it kind of breaks things down a little bit. But those books are mentioned in the Bible. Like the book of Enoch is talked about in the Bible.
Yeah.
Enoch walked with God. So it's like, why would you not want to know what he knows? Now, I did some research, and it actually turns out that that was in the Bible. It got removed about 82 years ago now, I think, something like that. Back when I found out, it was 80 years, so now it's probably a little bit more than 80 years. But it was at one point canon, and the only reason they took it out is because they didn't think that people were ready for it. Because it goes over some very interesting things. But that's besides the point. Being dangerous as a man, you have to be mentally dangerous, because like Jordan Peterson, who we're just talking about, he says one of the most formidable things you can do is engage in verbal combat, because with words you can't force that into someone. You have to get them to accept it. So being able to formulate words in such a way to effectively communicate your points towards someone, especially of an opposing view, can then accept that. Oh, that's badass, man. That's dangerous, because it allows you to lie to people. I remember when I was younger, I think it was like the 4th grade, I was really into airplanes, wanted to be a pilot. And I can't remember what it was. It was some stat I said about the F-15 Eagle. And this kid came and said, well, it's like this. And I'm like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? No, it's not. It's this way. But his dad or uncle, somebody was in the Air Force in his family. And I mean, because of my charisma, I got the whole class to ridicule this guy about him being wrong. I mean, I clowned this kid. And I was such an asshole that I went home to find the information so I could bring him back and clown him even more. Found that I was wrong. And I had to apologize to the kid the next day. You know, and what hurt me wasn't that I was wrong, it was that I clowned him. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a bully ever again. the one and only time I ever
got a little bit of humble pie there.
Yeah, I had to eat that humble pie. But and even though danger can sometimes, or violence can be used for evil and the wrong way, it is still necessary to navigate this thing called life safely. Because let's face it, when we listen to criminals and they have their interviews, they always talk about, I picked him because he was a soft target.
Yep, they didn't look dangerous. They didn't look like they carried anything. So that's why I went after them. So there was, what's funny is that there was a quote. It's not funny, but there was a quote that says, it's better to be a warrior as a gardener than a gardener as a warrior.
Yeah, it's better to be a warrior and a gardener.
That's right.
A gardener and a
warrior.
Yeah,
and that's kind of how a real gentleman, a real man should be. You should understand that violence may be necessary.
Yeah.
And it's funny, there's a thing called righteous violence.
Yeah.
Like where it's actually
righteous indignation, righteous anger.
There is a time and place for that. And it's, and there's the thing is about too is understanding violence too, being dangerous in a way, also knows when you need to go, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So when does it become worth to become dangerous? And that's the thing is like we teach people literally, and it's, I know a lot of firearm instructors. I know kind of stay away from this. I don't. We teach people how to kill people.
Yeah.
Period. That's what it's about. But what we're teaching though is not go out and to kill. It is, correct. Hey, if you have to, this is how you have to do it. And that is where the gentleman's side, that's where a real man kind of comes into play.
Yeah.
Because when am I going to, if somebody's just bad-mouthing me at a freaking store, I'm going to let them bad-mouth me. I don't care. What they think of me means nothing. And that's why I usually I would tell them, like, they don't know me. They don't know what I know. Yeah, exactly. I don't care. They are, and I will think this way. They are beneath me. Yeah. They are not worth my time or energy. That's the air you need to have when you realize that you are a dangerous person.
Yeah.
But
oh, you're not about to get me. I see you bending.
A dangerous person, a dangerous person is not a violent person.
Bing, bing, bing.
So just because I teach violence in a way we do, it's not I understand violence. We understand violence. We understand the thought process of being dangerous. We understand the protection being dangerous off first.
Yeah.
So, for example, if my wife and kids didn't think I couldn't be dangerous, couldn't be violent when necessary, do you think they would come to me for protection? Or what do you think they would do?
Yeah.
They'll go to somebody that could protect them.
Yep.
Or who they think would best protect them. No, they know dang well Dad's going to do something if he has to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the most violent person at that moment, too. Because my violence, too, here's another thing, too, and I'm a little free tip. When it's time to get violent,
You better
get
there.
violent.
You better get there.
Get violent. And
There's
I don't.
no levels of violence.
Nope.
Taking it to a 4 when that guy took it to an 8, you weren't ready for that. You better go to 10.
Yep.
Almost immediately.
When it's time to get violent, get violent. Now, that doesn't mean kill necessarily, and I'm going to break down what I mean by that. Because there's legal aspects of things. You always got, in today's age, you have to think legal repercussions.
Every bullet has a lawyer's number on it.
So if somebody literally sucker punches my wife when I'm out shopping, I'm going to tackle the guy and probably beat the hell out of him, but I probably won't kill him.
Yeah.
Because that would be, they would actually call that overkill, be excessive. I can go to jail. Right? It would get in trouble. But I got violent and I took it up higher. I got more violent than he did because why? He's not going to get back up and do it again. If I got to get put in handcuffs for it, then fine. To me, it was worth it. If somebody is doing something, attacks one of my daughters at home in the middle of the night, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be extreme violence.
Yeah.
And I mean like to the point where this person is going to be removed in a bag.
Yeah.
Like I said, so when it's time to get violent, but also you have to know where to stop the violence.
Yeah.
And that's a societal thing, but it's not a bad thing because somebody brought up a good point. You know, if somebody knocks on your door at 2:00 in the morning, don't get violent. You know, like don't shoot through the door and claim you're scared for your life. That's not being dangerous. That's being reckless and being cowardly sometimes.
Yeah.
Because somebody knocks on my door at 2 a.m, that doesn't mean I'm going to open the door. I might be like, especially if you got doorbell cameras, whatever. I'm going to be like, what do you want?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's 2 a.m. Tell me what you want. Hey, I need to use your phone. Hey, I'll call somebody for you. I'm not opening this door and letting you in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta be smart with it, man, because at the end of the day, you got some uneven burn there. Actually, it's probably
It's a part of it's gonna be because you're next to a fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine's actually burning pretty evenly. Take that.
First time ever.
It's not the first time. But being violent, yeah. Learn to be dangerous. And be like I said, being dangerous gives you an air of confidence too. Because let's be real, once you learn also a martial art too, you know dang well, if there's one person, I'm probably gonna be able to take him. 2 people, okay. You know, don't get me wrong. If you get 3 or more, you're gonna probably be like, shit. You know, the key, guys, just so you know, the key to doing that is get them in a line. Keep moving so they're always one in front of the other. Because then it's
can't pile on you.
Yeah, because then it's gonna only be 1-on-1 at that. I learned that.
Yeah.
A while back, I was like,
I learned that from getting jumped in New York.
So always try to keep moving and keep them
back to all of them.
Yeah,
don't let them get behind you.
Yeah, always keep them in front of you and behind each other. So if you're focusing on one guy, keep moving so that way he's always in front of another guy.
Yeah,
you know,
they can't pound you that way.
But anyways, Dex, you were saying while you were relighting or correcting your cigar, touching on it.
No, I just remember, man. Like once I learned, a little bit of martial arts, once I got a little bit more confident with my hand speed and realizing that, I could see a punch coming and evade it or have time to decide what I want to do to somebody that's doing something. It's kind of like athletes being in the zone. Things kind of slow down a little bit, but it's just because you're hyper-focused.
Yeah.
And you can't be hyper-focused when you're upset. So till today, I've never fought mad. Never been upset in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had that, I guess, mental conditioning from the little bit of martial arts my uncle did teach us. And then once I actually, got my concealed and started carrying, I was still a little...
Gotta fix these damn shorts again.
I was still a little hesitant. Got some little Daisy Dukes on.
I'm getting ready to go put on my Daisy Dukes in my tank, what do they call it? Crop top.
Dukes of Hazzard sliding across Chevys.
Jumped up in my undercarriage.
But I remember once I actually got good at shooting, I got proficient, I was able to see that I was clearly a better shooter than people who were shooting longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really just because of the way that I approached it. It was never for fun. It was fun. I didn't approach it to have fun.
You did it to learn a skill.
Correct.
Yeah.
I wanted to learn a skill. I wanted to master the skill. I wanted to get as good as possible because there were a lot of guys that I had respect for that were at that level, and I kind of just wanted to sit at their table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my entryway, was to get good at shooting.
Right.
But after that happened, dude, it was just like I would almost do things that would seem really foolish. Like I'd be walking through a group of 5 guys, I wouldn't change my path. I'd walk right through them. And I was like, "Are you looking for trouble?" Like, nah, I just didn't feel like I needed to move. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of have a different kind of confidence,
almost an air of arrogance.
A bit, you know what I'm saying? A bit, and it really becomes from like I wouldn't have to draw, because there's one thing that I do. I know you do this. Other guys do this. Ladies, if you're watching, I don't know why, but we do. If I see a guy come in the room, certain guys, they just have this thing about them, just like, I want to fight that guy. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if I can take this guy. You know what I'm saying?
I think every guy size up a guy.
Yeah.
And you look at me like, I can kick his ass.
Yeah. That guy might be in some trouble.
And then here's the funny part is once you get to know the guy, you're like,
you're cool.
Yeah, he's all right. I don't think I'll kick his ass. But then here's the best part too. After a while, like I don't even like when you walk in the door, I don't even think I can kick it. First off, I probably can't. But secondly,
what do you mean worst?
Worst off, but like I say,
where are these words coming from? Goddamn combat veteran. Get out of here.
So like, well, you know, I'm broken. So, but now like after a while, like if Dex walks in or if I see somebody, I don't even think those thoughts anymore.
Yeah,
most of the time now I walk and because here's what I don't know if you do this because I do this.
Yeah.
If I'm with another guy that I know is a shooter, is a good shot, or something like that, and I'm going somewhere, I almost feel like extra confident because I'm like, if something comes down, I know I got backup. Like I have this like now I don't need to keep my head on a swivel a 360 much. I can do 180 and he can do the other 180. And it kind of happens less. Like if I go out with Dex anywhere, most of the time it's like I'm like, all right, I feel like if the group gets bigger after all, you're like, shit, I got a squad.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm good, man. I ain't afraid of nothing, man. I own this place. Let's go. You know, like that's usually how it gets. There's of course some of it is because safety in numbers, but not just that. But some of it, I think the fan is probably being a bigger culprit to that than anything else. Yeah, because mine's burning really evenly. Try if you can. I know it's probably not comfortable. Try to keep the cigar
down. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it up here. And
well, that's where it's blowing its back that way. Yeah. So. But yeah, so you have this. But speaking of being dangerous, though, one of the things about being dangerous, though, is also once you learn what danger is, you learn how to be violent in the proper ways. Because you know that, I think it makes you better at being gentle.
Yeah, I would agree.
You learn a lot more about because you learned how to be violent with words.
Yeah,
everybody learns how to be violent with words.
Right off the bat.
But I think people in general who are more violent, who understands like actual violence, and I don't because to me words aren't violent. Words only have power if you give them power.
Yeah,
I truly believe that. So if there's some random person I don't know calls me whatever freaking name, it means nothing. But if the person I care for a lot says something to me that hurts me a lot, that has a lot more power because I care about what they feel and think. But with that being said, it also makes you, I believe, once you learn how to become a dangerous person, learn how to be violent, you learn how to be very gentle.
It's true.
Because you know what it takes to hurt somebody. You learn how to use words as a weapon. Let's be real. Yeah. If I'm using a firearm, I can be really forceful without shooting that gun.
Yeah.
I learned how to be more forceful with my voice, how to be a lot more demanding, how to take control, how to be dominant.
Domineering.
Right? You learn how to do that. You can learn how to have an air of authority.
I like that.
But you also got to learn how to dial it back. I got 3 daughters and a wife. Ain't nobody ever seen me not cuddle up with my youngest child.
Yeah.
I let them put makeup on me. When I had a lot more hair, I used to put things in my hair. We had, I will
wear the bands, which I got it on the table.
I got to put my bands back on. And then one of the last videos you see, I had the bands on. So that
I wear them.
You got to learn to be gentle because part of being a gentle man.
Nice tall little thing you got there.
Yeah, a nice little stack there, little head of ash. One of the things about being a gentleman is learning actually how to be
a gentle man. Yeah.
Right. So
gentle does not mean soft.
It means I know how to handle.
Yeah.
Like my girls, I can't treat them like one of the guys. As much as my middle child, I can kind of get away with it. She's still a girl and stuff like that. So I still have to treat her gently, and she's also my daughter too. So I can't say certain things to her.
Yeah.
And most of the things I do say to her, if it sounds like it's offensive, is because her and I are joking back and forth. She makes fat jokes. She makes old man jokes. She makes all these about me, and that's fine. That's what
she gets that from you.
I taught her how to do that. I also did it to make them mentally strong. It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, school's hard. You're going to be bullied. Best way to handle a bully, especially if it's verbal, is have better
jokes.
Yep. Learn that kung fu, that verbal kung fu, man.
That's big facts, man. Verbal kung fu is probably the first form of martial arts I learned, because I remember when they used to say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I was like, shit, that's a lie. It's like I've known plenty of guys that got beat up, ain't never decided to go end their life, but I know guys that end their life over words. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that words are very formidable, but it goes back to what you said. It only has power if you give it power. You know what I'm saying? If you give it power. And sometimes you kind of have to turn yourself off. That's why a lot of men are so closed off, because I know like with me, I'm a very expressive person, very open and all that stuff. But yeah, man. So
Ray Charles didn't need him.
Man, Ray Charles didn't need him. Well, he had his hands were his eyes.
You got hands.
I do have hands, but I don't understand Braille.
A cigar back here. I'm gonna go ahead and ash it before ash is made.
Yeah, exactly. Smart guy. Get that out of there.
Yeah. So.
But it's one of the things. It's just like I had to understand, especially living up in New York, man. Like you get clowned for everything. You got good gear, you getting clowned, rich kid. Yep. You don't got gear, you're broke. You know what I'm saying? You almost had to be like rich, have it, but not really have it too much. It was just so weird because it didn't really matter. When I moved to Florida, one of the things that gave me an advantage was I was able to clown pretty girls, because you do that in New York all the time. Everybody's pretty. You know what I'm saying? So you can still make fun of women who are attractive. And it was so funny because in Florida, like, they've never heard stuff like, man, you're supposed to be nice. Like, why should I be nice to you? Because I'm pretty. It's like, yeah, but you're retarded. It's like, what is beauty without the brains? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that doesn't. No, I'm not gonna be nice. You're retarded. You know what I'm saying? But if I can say that word without, being canceled. But it's very interesting.
Can't be canceled. You have to agree to be canceled, and I disagree with it. So it doesn't work.
You're absolutely right. But it's a very cool thing, because even now, because I know I can say things that could possibly hurt somebody's feelings or how to kind of come at them, it keeps me in a very interesting place. Like the other day, I had a conversation with a buddy, and the way he went about the conversation, I didn't really like.
You're fine.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't get really overly emotional or anything like that. I was very mellow, stayed calm the entire time, but I was very stern and serious with my response, because I just didn't like it. And the thing about it is, I'm not a very emotional person. Like, I don't get riled up easily. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it riled me up, I'd ask myself two questions. Am I dealing with a lot right now, and maybe this conversation is kind of harassing or kind of stirring that pot up? Right. Or are you truly tripping right now? And I took that time to kind of like, let me relax. And then I responded, and it was an immediate, hey, it's not even like that. My fault. Let's just start over. Blah, blah, blah. And everything was cool. We went back to being boys. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's that being gentle, because I've seen it so many times where somebody will say something to somebody, their best friend, and then they just blow up. They're heated. They're mad. They're arguing. It's like, well, that's your brother. It's your best friend. Like, you guys been together for 15 years. Why weren't you able to handle that peacefully? And it kind of reminded me of what used to happen in a lot of wars. The guys would bring his army. I'm ready to fight. Shit, here comes my army. We're ready to fight. We got 10,000 more than you. Let's talk about this. and the guys would literally have their armies ready to die for each other.
Yep.
But then they would settle it with words and say, you know what, we don't need to fight. I'll give you this, we'll give you that. All right, cool. I see your army. There's no reason for our men to die here. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of wars got kind of qualmed that way. Even same thing in New York. Dudes wanted to fight because their girlfriend's talking to me. Shit, I didn't know she had a dude. She didn't tell me that.
Right.
Why are you fighting me? Go talk to her. You know what I'm saying? She's the one over here giving me the time of day when she has you. She should have just said no.
Yeah.
But she didn't. So why are we fighting? Like, I don't think we're the ones that need to have the fight.
Right.
I'll fight you, but this is stupid.
See,
It doesn't make any sense.
See, now there's also there too is that remember, the difference between being dangerous and understanding violence is learning when to use it and not to use it.
Mhm.
And the thing is most of the time, I can tell you right now, most guys really don't want to fight. And I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
When I was young and dumb, I enjoyed combatives. I really did.
Yeah.
I had fun. I can't do it like I used to now.
Yeah.
But excuse me, went down the wrong tube there. Fighting hurts.
Yeah, it does.
Fighting hurts.
Hurts your hands, hurts your body.
You're gonna have, if you get some good licks in, you're gonna have a massive headache.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sore. You're gonna be banged. It hurts.
Even if you hit the wrong part of their face or body,
Oh, you can mess
catch
up
their elbow or something. Yeah.
It hurts, and most guys don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, if we can handle it verbally,
yeah,
most guys are going to go that way. Have you ever seen
verbal combat?
Yeah, it's like I say it's. But if it's time to get violent, get dangerous. And another reason why you should get dangerous too is it's funny is that there was this looks like you said, you talk about like some of these interviews with criminals, and we got to wrap this segment up and go move on. Is a lot of these criminals they interviewed, they said this guy looked dangerous. He looked like he knew something. Looked like he was carrying a gun. He looked like, so I didn't even mess with him.
Yeah.
All right. You look at some of these, I'd call mass murderers.
Yeah, they want soft targets.
Yep. You look at these mass murderers. I'm not even gonna say this mass shooter or whatever, because I'm a shooter and I don't. But the mass murderers, they went and committed murder. They're going after soft target. Dylan something rather, when he went into the one church and shot up the church, and it was like a black church, whatever. You know why he chose that church? Because there's no armed guards. The first church he went to had an armed guard.
Yeah. He
didn't want that hard target. You look at a lot of these guys going to schools, soft targets.
Yep.
The one school that had a hard target, I can't remember what it was not too long ago, this person wasn't able to do anything. They couldn't get into school, couldn't get, like, they don't want soft, they want easy targets.
Yep.
You never see a mass murder, mass killing happen anywhere where you have an armed population.
Nope.
So the one guy who went into the church in Texas, unfortunately, I think he killed 2 people before he was killed.
Yeah.
They had an armed guard. What was killed? One.
There was a guy at the door. The first guy.
So he killed 2 people. One of them was the problem was the guard had his gun in his back, and I never say concealed carry at your back, because first off he has a suit on, so now he's got to get past the suit. He's got to lean forward, try to get his gun out, pull it out around back, get on. That's just a terrible spot for concealed carrying. I never recommend it. But the other guy, he got it on, put one shot in the guy's dome, he was done. But if you watch that video, you see all these other guys come out with guns. There was other people with guns. Terrible place to do the mass shooting. Unfortunately, there were 2 lives lost there. But because, was there 3? I don't consider the shooter his life. Look, you know what? So when we talk statistics, remember we were talking statistics, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things about that is there were 3, like with a shooter in Tennessee, that they were like, oh, there were 7 lives lost that day. I'm like, no, there were 6. I don't consider the shooter's life lost. Their life was lost a long time ago.
Yeah.
They don't count. They are not part of the innocents that were taken. You deserved to die for that. I don't care.
That makes sense. It wasn't a life lost. A life was forfeited.
Yeah. These 6 other individuals didn't choose that. You chose it for them. When you went there doing that, you knew automatically. They knew they weren't going to walk out. Sorry, but the media, they labeled that the shooter because it was trans. There's person, the trans life, they had it hard and blah 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 blah. That doesn't mean you go around killing innocent.
Why is it that when people have hard lives, they want to make other people's life harder? I don't understand that.
Shouldn't you want to make it easier?
That's what I'm saying. You understand what it is to live a hard life. Why don't you help somebody as opposed to hurting people?
Doesn't make any sense. That's what happens when you're mentally ill.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that because you're trans, whatever, but it's just period. I grew up abused as a child, so therefore I'm going to murder a bunch of women. That doesn't do you any good. Shouldn't you want to help those who are abused? That's what happens when you're mentally ill. Period. So
it's like they say that the difference between the hero and the villain is the hero goes through trauma and says, I don't want anyone else to go through this. I will protect you from this. And the villain says, because I went through this, I'm going to make sure everybody else goes through this too. You know what I'm saying? So very, very, very interesting concept when it comes down to that type of stuff. But that kind of gets into this because I heard this guy, he was talking, he was basically saying that they asked him, should you hit women? And he was like, I don't know what you mean by that. And he goes, well, do you think men should hit women? And he goes, well, let me ask you a question. Are men stronger than women? Yeah. Do women know that? Yeah. Then why the hell she's going to F with me? Do I got to punch her in the face? Don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm stronger than you, so why do you do that? But it seems that because women know that we are gentlemen, we have the capacity for violence, and we have such capacity, but we're so gentle to them that they can just push our buttons, and they know we're not just going to slap the shit out of them. Most of us
watch the mic.
Oh, yeah. Most of us aren't going to slap the shit out of them.
Bill Burr makes a joke about that.
Oh, what does he say?
Bill Burr, okay, I'm going to mess up this joke, all right, but you can find it on YouTube. It's funny. He's like, women can get away with saying anything. Mm-hmm. They literally can. He's like, imagine me. I walk up to somebody, and he's like, I walk up to some guy who's jacked up with his protein shake, and I smack that protein shake out of his hand, and I call him a dumb whatever.
Pour wine in his face.
He's gonna punch me in the face. He's like, women don't have to fear those kind of repercussions because they know they can say whatever, like Bill Burr's type thing. Yeah. He goes, and they're not going to get punched in the face, and that's true. And that's because, like you said, they understand that most men won't hit a woman. Most men won't, okay? But what I find funny, though, is that, especially in today's day and age where you have because of feminists. Yeah. I don't know if you guys picked up on any of my previous podcasts. I don't like feminists. They say it's actually about equality for all. No, it's not. It's about superiority.
Correct.
It really is. It's never been. I never heard anything about equality. Considering, I can bring up all these stats, and I'm not going to get into the stat talk right now, but it's not about equality. It really isn't. Once workplace deaths get to 50%, warplace deaths get to 50%, divorce rates get to 50% who could divorce when. We see that the family court systems where it's 50% and all this stuff around. Then I'll say otherwise it's always skewed. The men have the worst end of the deal.
You want to know what's so crazy? I forgot his name. Fresh and Fit. Shout out to you guys. He actually had a little clip, and he says you cannot have chivalry and feminism, or chivalry and equality, because in order for men to be chivalrous, it automatically unbalances the scale because you're getting an advantage from chivalry as a woman. But if you want to be a feminist, you want equality, then it automatically does away with chivalry because we have to treat you equal. So it's like you can either get chivalry and understand that you're not equal to us and submit to that rule, or it can just be equal and now you get nothing. And you know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, but I think a lot of men are still taught. A lot of boys, let me correct that, boys are taught to not hit a woman and all stuff. And I actually agree with that. Don't hit a woman, right? All right, but a lot of women are not taught. Don't hit men. Don't hit boys. They're not taught that anymore.
Yeah, if a boy hits you, you can.
Nobody teaches that. And thing is women get away with.
I teach my nieces that.
Women get away with being able to assault a man and nothing happens.
And that includes physically and verbally. Because nothing pisses me off more than when I'm in a relationship and you're talking to me sideways. And you know who I am and what I can do. Like, men bigger than me don't talk to me this way because they know who I am and what I can do. So why the hell are you doing it? It's like the most disrespectful thing you can do.
One of the things I probably hate the most that anybody can do this to me, but I hate it more when I'm in a relationship and stuff like that is when you treat me like I'm a fucking child.
Oh,
Okay, so let me break this
man.
down. So if I am joking around and just screwing around, that's one thing. Just play away, because if I can dish it, I should be able to take it.
Facts.
What I don't like though is when I don't do something maybe that meets, say, to her expectation, because or maybe I did something wrong in their eyes. A lot of guys run this wrong, right? And then I'm talked down to.
Yeah.
When you want to see me get pissed, talk down to me like that.
Yeah.
So what? I didn't do the dishes the way you do the dishes.
Yeah.
Are they clean? Yeah. What's the freaking problem?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my kind of thing. Don't talk to me like I'm a child, especially if it is something where it's time to be a grown up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want me to respond to you in a caring, thoughtful manner, you need to treat me that way. And I get it. I'm a big asshole. I'll just straight up admit it. Sometimes I don't realize I may do that. Call me out on it.
Yeah.
And generally, if you call, and I might sulk for a minute and go, yeah, you're kind of right, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll take the initiative. So my wife and I got into a fight yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, right? And I went ahead and I apologized first. I don't remember, but I most likely was the one that was in the wrong.
Yeah.
But what really set me off was because I was treated like a child. And nothing pisses me off more than, especially when they go, oh, I haven't begun to treat you like a child. I'll start treating. Then I'm like, then what the fuck is this attitude all about then?
Yeah.
This is not treating a child attitude? Then what attitude is this?
Yeah.
This is not my equal. This is not my partner attitude. This is the slave driver. This is the
do what I tell you.
Yeah, this is a. I'm like, and that's why and that's the thing. It annoys me is that you need to touch that up big time. You're gonna have some nasty flavors if you don't. A lot of it has to be because probably, unfortunately, that fan and stuff. But one of the problems though is that is what probably angers me the most. Is when you're going to belittle me and treat me that I'm not equal. Because in a relationship, I'll be straight up honest, and I know this is going to come out somewhat misogynistic, whatever. Okay? I am bigger and I am stronger.
It's not misogynistic, that's facts.
Why on earth like you said, why on earth would you treat me that way? Now, I get it. Now, if I don't treat you with kindness, dignity, and respect in a moment where we need to, where I should be, then by all means, call me out on it. You might want to wait until I cool off, though. Honestly, wait till I cool off. And it's not hard.
In place.
Yeah, it's not hard. If you see I'm getting angry or upset,
back off.
Back off. Literally, just give me my space.
Yeah.
And it's funny because women, I'm going to tell you something right now. If there's any women out there watching this, when you're angry, you ever notice a lot of times the guy will kind of just leave you the fuck alone, and then you get mad. Why is he not talking about it? Because what do guys do when we want to be left alone?
Yeah.
Let me cool off.
Yeah.
We're giving you that same courtesy. I'm avoiding you because I don't feel like getting into a fight right now. Cooler heads will prevail. That's the mentality. But when I'm angry and then you come back, right? All you're going to do is make me want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the biggest thing that irritates me is if I'm treated like a child, belittled kind of thing. We're joking or whatever. I don't have a problem. And I know some guys don't like it when their girls joke at their guy's expense in public. Personally, to me, that doesn't bother me because I have very thick skin. My wife can do it to me, and I'll let a few close friends do it to me because that's my relationship with them. But if I don't know you, then you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like being in the Army. I can make fun of the Marine Corps, Air Force, and Navy, and they can vice versa. But it's like we don't allow outsiders in to make fun of it. Like I get angry when I see people who aren't in the military make fun of the Marines with eating crayons. I'm like, whoa, stop it. Were you ever in a branch?
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
Knock that shit off. You can't do that. Yep. I can do that. You can't do that. But free speech, so technically they're allowed to, and I'll allow it. But that's the mentality I have.
It's kind of like you kind of got to earn the right to trash talk somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm playing basketball, I can trash talk guys. Why? Because I've stopped them, I've blocked them, I've gotten steals. You know what I'm saying? And they can trash talk me. Why? They've gotten a J over me. They might have, crossed up a little bit, but it's we joke because there is mutual respect.
Yes.
Like we know what each other are capable of. But if you don't know what I'm capable of, why are you talking shit, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know.
The difference I may have a little bit, I don't mind a little friendly competition banter.
Yeah,
like even if I don't know you, I might throw some little competition like banter, whatever. I'm not gonna be insulting you directly.
Yeah, exactly.
I might throw a thing like I'm not good at basketball. Okay.
You shoot pretty good.
So I'm not good at it.
You can't dribble, but you can shoot.
I can dribble somewhat.
Yeah.
So,
dribble?
not between the legs, whatever. Okay, I'm not good at it. I can do it in one hand. Okay, like I'll get one of these other balls here and I'll show you later off camera because Dex is observant. He's probably right. But the point though is, I may say something like, let's say we talk basketball. I may be like, oh man, like I can't even make an insult about basketball because I don't know anything about basketball.
It's like shoot like my grandma or something.
Or something, yeah. Like, you shoot like my grandma, whatever.
Defense like a girl, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Just something, whatever. That's what it's going to be. It's not going to be directly on Dex. Like, oh, Dex, got that limp still, eh? You messed it. Like, I'm not going to be insulting him directly. It's not going to work.
Exactly. It's going to be like, hey, man.
Do you know how I got this limp?
Yeah, it's funny, but that's interesting.
But that's the, it's got to pop. But, I tried. I messed it up when I was hiking 10 years ago.
And that's funny because that saying that right there brings something up. And it was like, girls, they like to ask a lot of questions. I like to know, and my buddy said this once. He says, if you show a girl Superman, she's going to want to look for Clark Kent. She's going to try to find your kryptonite.
Right.
But if you show her Clark Kent, then she's going to want to, hype you up like you're Superman. And I understand that concept. To me, that's kind of stupid. And the only reason I say it's kind of stupid is like, if you know that I'm fucking Superman, what use do you have? What use do you need of kryptonite other than to hurt me?
Fix the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like certain people though, I'm like, why do you want to know that information? You having that information does nothing other than giving you the ability to hurt me later. Why the fuck do you want to know that shit? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, I'm not going to give you that information. But it's like they need it. So, like, for me, one of the things that I hate is when you, as a lady, don't listen to reason. That shit drives me crazy. Because it's like, okay, you know what you're doing doesn't make sense. Yes. Is it get you the results that you want? No. Then why the fuck are you still doing it? Well, I don't know. Like, that blows my mind. That gets me so upset, bro. Listen to reason. I don't what? Like, bro, perfect example, right? Talking to somebody. And this one didn't upset me because I'm not in a relationship with the person, but it was very interesting. But this is the kind of thing that they do, right? It's like this. All right, so whose fault is this? It's man's fault. Okay, why is it man's fault? It's men's fault because men would step up to the plate and do X, Y, and Z. Women would behave better. Okay, so who's responsible for men's actions? Well, men are responsible for men's actions. Okay, so who's responsible for women's action? Well, men are responsible for women's action. I said, so does that give men complete authority over women since we have to be responsible for both us and you? Well, I was like, no, don't try to change the subject now.
Can't have both ways.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. I
don't like that comment because why have cake if you can't eat it? So I don't like that statement, but I get it. But I hate that statement.
But maybe someone doesn't like cake. I'm not a big cake fan.
Something's wrong with you.
That's what my mom said.
You know what's crazy?
She even
don't like cake.
She was like,
I don't like cake.
I told her, I was like, I really don't care. I was like, I really don't care for cake. And she's like, not my child. I'm like, well, okay. So, but now, though, I'm gonna throw something out there though. So one of the things that you did say is that like if they got a Clark Kent, they're gonna try to hype you up to be Superman.
Yeah.
I tend to like that though.
Yeah.
The reason being is because they view you, yes, as Clark Kent, but they see the Superman in you.
Yeah.
And building you up is not a bad thing. That's a great thing in a relationship.
I would agree.
I mean, like if don't get me wrong, My wife would not be going out there and say my husband's the next John Wick. I'd be like, no, I'm probably one of the guys he kills.
One of the hedge guys.
One of the henchmen, right? The henchmen were good, but I'm not John Wick good.
I'd be the guy he let go because I'm like, oh, John, is that you? Yeah. It's like, what? You know what?
You working? Yeah.
I'm not. I just clocked out, brother.
Good luck, man. I'll see you at the hotel.
I'm up out of here. You gotta be kidding me.
Yep. But the thing is like that's actually something about a relationship I do like is when they build you up. And the thing is that as a man, you need to also be able to build up your woman too.
Oh,
and like as much, like I said, I got in an argument with my wife last night. So, but one of the things I do always say, and people know me, always hear it. My wife is actually a really good wife.
Yeah,
she is. She's a great mother. She's a good wife. Could she be better? I could be a better husband. We could both be better at what we do. But overall, she's a good one. I've been with her I've been together. We've been together for 18 years.
18 years.
We've been together for 18 years. So we argue about stupid things now. So that's just because we've argued all the big things. Yeah. So now it's stupid things. But
why do you fold it with the tag on the outside? The tag should be on the inside.
You're not far wrong from that.
Oh, I believe it, bro. Trust me, I know.
Like making our bed, like we put the sheet down. The tag has to be. If I was laying in my bed, it's got to be, my head's at the headboard, the tag's got to be at the bottom left. I'm like, why does it matter? Why can't it be at the top right? She's like, because the tag's by our heads. I'm like, it'd be by my head. Who cares? I don't care. So it has to be it has to be the bottom left. So anyways.
It's funny stuff.
But the thing is, there are things that in relationships women do that actually does boost. It's like, here's the thing. When in a relationship, what a guy wants is not, and a lot of women I think get this wrong. They think we want a slave. No, we want this. You're
fucking media.
We don't like so like a lot of times too. It's like, have you ever seen a real honest to God? And it doesn't matter what culture too. And I mean it's too. Look, every culture, an Asian culture, Hispanic culture, white, black, whatever. A traditional marriage. What do you see? You see usually a very loving and caring husband towards the wife.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to find. Like, if I'm out doing it's hot out and I'm doing hard yard work, my wife will bring me something to drink. She might actually make me something to eat. How hard is it to make me a damn sandwich and pour me a drink?
Yeah.
Literally, my sandwiches are the world's easiest sandwiches to make. It is so easy. I'm telling you right now. Bread, bologna, mustard, bread, done. Don't even throw a piece of cheese on there.
No cheese, no lettuce.
Takes 20 seconds to make that sandwich. Thing of water. We got a water dispenser that's already cold. She didn't have to put ice in it. Just, here you go. 2 minutes, she's got everything while I'm doing everything else that needs to be done. 2 minutes of her time to show that she cares about me is a good thing. That's a supportive wife. That's a loving wife. And what am I going to do? I'm going to do things that can generally be supportive needing to her. Now, if I'm not going to lie, if a guy doesn't do anything for her, then then it's very one-sided and that becomes a problem. But that's where the communication comes in and stuff like that, and you have to talk, whatever. A great book, I think. I don't know if we talked about in a previous Gentleman Quartered or not. Was
Love and Respect.
The book Love and Respect. I know they get a lot of crap for some reason. And it's funny is that the book doesn't say not to respect your wife. It's talking about because women like
primary thing.
So it's supposed to be equal.
How does that book get flagged?
So because the way the author, I can't remember his name, talks about it is that all they hear is that men need to love their wives, not respect them, and that's not the case. Everything he was saying was, if you read a lot of these relationship books, it's all geared towards women, none geared towards men. This is a book geared towards women for men.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, look, you want to know how to make your man happy? You got to respect him. And it's not that I don't want the love, but men need respect. Women need love. In the Bible, it even says, what is it? Dex, go ahead and say, what does the Bible say?
It says, woman, honor your husband as unto the Lord, which basically means respect him just like he was Jesus. And men, you're supposed to love your wives like Christ loved the church.
There you go. And that's just it.
And the Bible never tells a woman to love her man, which is very interesting, but it always tells her to respect him and to honor him.
But then the man is told to love your wife. In fact, what was it? What John says, husbands, love your wives, something like that. I think it was. So, and that's one of those things which is, it's when we're out, men want women to respect them, but women want men to love them.
Yeah.
So did I say that right? When we're out, men want women to respect them, and women want men to love them. Right. So here at home, I have to give my wife love. So here's one of the things. That was my fault with this argument, and I'm being as transparent as I can be without getting too into detail here. As you guys know, we talked about it. We built a website. Okay. We've been building Modern Sword. Dex kind of knows I'm the guy behind the curtain. I'm talking with the web developer. I'm dealing with the bank. I'm doing all these things. So I put a lot of time into doing this, and unfortunately, my wife was feeling neglected. I wasn't giving her the love. I wasn't giving her the quality time. So 5 love languages. Really recommend reading it. And I hate when people say, "Well, I don't need no book." I'm like, dude, I'm not telling you. The book is great because it really helps you understand the psychology of certain people, their love language, whatever. It doesn't mean like, well, communication, I don't need no book. I hate when people, I'm like, I'm not saying you need a book. I'm just saying that it helps. It sounds dumb, but it helps. But love and respect, dude, you need to touch that bad boy up.
Yes, it's like caved in down here.
That's called canoeing, and it's tunneling at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Mine's been pretty... So, the problem I had was, is like, here I was, is not... And you know why we got into the argument?
No.
Because I couldn't get... My computer was acting dumb, and I couldn't screenshot the website.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah, like you said, that was shit now.
I got angry over something dumb like that, and she was trying to help, but being a little bit more, I don't want to say demeaning, but yeah, it's felt that way and sounded that way, so it's probably my fault, whatever. But here, for a while, it's been that. So, real quick, so if you're ever wondering how to properly get it even, you start at the lowest point of the burn, and then you just go in a circle. Yeah, okay. Start at the lowest point of the burn and work your way around. Yep.
Makes more sense.
So, but overall, what we want is the respect. My wife generally respects me in my decisions. When it's a really big, hard decision, we come together as a unit to make that decision. When it is when I'm doing something, I want her to be supportive. And it's not that I don't support her, because she knows dang well I support her. But generally speaking, if my wife wants to make me sound like Superman, I'm more than happy to be Superman in her eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. Actually, it does make sense, because when he first said it, I didn't like it because I was that Superman kind of guy. I don't really show weakness. I try to be right. Like they say, oh, you always think you're right. Motherfuckers don't even want to be wrong.
Nobody wants to be wrong.
I said, yes. Yeah, so I
fix your mic real quick.
Okay. It's like, yeah, I definitely want to be right. And if I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong, because I want to be correct. So correct me. I have no issue with that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably why I had the issue with it, because I wasn't that passive. I didn't ask for help. You know what I'm saying? I just went out and did it. Even if I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I would still do it with the same amount of confidence that I would approach something that I've done a million times.
Right.
It was just always like that. So it's just like, gotta have a weakness somewhere. What is it? I'm like, why are you looking for that? You know what I'm saying? Let me be Superman, because like if you're gonna hype me up to be Superman, then once I finally get Superman, you gonna tear me back down? It's like,
see, and
equilibrium type of thing.
And I understand that fear, because a lot of guys that open up to their women, women will say like, I want my man to be open with me emotionally, stuff like that, and then you see it's used against them.
Yeah, I ain't doing that shit.
And and that's sad, because in a true, I think, mutually loving and respectful relationship,
you should be able to
do that, because the thing is that your wife, your significant other, or whatever, should be like, I'll use this as an example. My wife, and I'm going to use a very generic term. My wife is very good when it comes to planning and organization, for example, like charts and all this other stuff, blah, 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 right? I'm not bad at it, but she is much better than I am.
Yeah.
So that's her strength. So I lean into that for her. I'm much better. If something's broken, needs to be fixed, I mean, literally, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, whatever, that's my strength. So she leans into that. Let's look at helping our kids with school. If it's history and English, that's me. Yep. If it's math, That's her.
Yeah.
I can barely count to 4. So like, so we recognize as each other's strengths. We recognize each other's strengths, and that is how you build each other up. You build up the strengths.
Yeah, the two become one.
Right. You know, it's not meant to be torn apart.
Correct.
But unfortunately, you see a lot of days that's kind of what's happening. You know, and I think that's just, you know, a lot of it has to do with social media. A lot of it has to do with just media in general. You know, like so the feminist movement. But, you know, so
they're gonna kill us all, man. But I mean, really good because you know we know about being dangerous, but you got to be dangerous. You chose got to be gentle. But it's like my pastor, this guy named Charles Dow. Check him out, Straightway Truth Ministries. He says you don't get to choose the time, hour, or location that evil will present itself to you, but you must be ready to respond with superior force, a tactical mind. Like you just have to be able to respond more violent than they can. You don't start the fights, but we'll damn sure make sure you finish the fights.
Yep.
That's kind of the whole goal of modern sword. But of course, the reason that we want to be dangerous and be gentle and protect is for the women, the children, the people in our lives.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Even my buddies. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to protect what's important to me. But what would you say would be kind of like a dream day for you, man? Like if you could have it,
a dream day.
Yeah, well, let's say a dream, because dream life take a lot, but like a quick little thing. If you had the money and the time to accomplish it, what would a day in your dream life look like?
That's a good question. And what's funny is that one day would just sound ridiculous. Now I'm going to give you the reason why.
Yeah.
So it would either be because everybody has things they like to do. I get that. But if money and time was no issue, and one day, we're talking one day, I couldn't tell you what I want to do. Some days I want to be hiking. I want to be blacksmithing. Maybe I want to be in my back patio just having a cigar with a buddy. Look, I am not a man of complexities.
Yeah.
But we're talking like what would make me feel fulfilled.
Yeah, when I say day, I mean how is it structured? Like basically what I'm saying is what needs to be around you for you to sit down and be like, you know what? I'm living my dream right now.
So, well, first thing for me is modern sword has been a dream for me for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
But back when we first met, a long time ago, one of the things I've been dying to do is start a firearms school. Okay.
That is a passion of ours.
So,
especially you.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. I looked at my I've been a fire instructor for almost 11 years according to my certifications and stuff.
Ever since you met.
Pretty much. So, but what I want to get to where I'm at is I want to be doing something that I'm passionate about. And that can be in various different things. I am passionate about blacksmithing, but to me,
it's not what you want to use to make money.
Yeah, that's just a hobby, something I can do in my spare time. What I'm actually passionate about is actually having a firearms class. So if one day would look like in like regular life, I don't mean what I'm doing for enjoyment, just regular life, here's what I would want it to be. I get up in the morning at my house that's completely paid off. Doesn't have to be a mansion. It could be this POS.
Yeah.
It's just paid off. It's mine, right?
Yeah. Point of service, by the way.
Yeah, point of service, yeah. I get in my car, my truck.
Yeah, what kind of truck?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Dude, I am not a big car person. I used to be a mechanic, and you'd think I would be, but I was the only.
That's probably why you don't like cars.
I was the only mechanic.
I
was the only mechanic who was like, "Hey, what's this car like?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's probably got 4 wheels." No, it's got 3. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I don't know. Probably if I could get a 4x4 of some sort, it definitely needs something like that where I can 4-wheel drive. Probably
like a Ford Raptor or something.
Yeah, maybe like a good something the equivalent to I don't mean Ford, but like equivalent to like a Ford F-250 or something like that.
Big boy, yeah.
Yeah, something like that because they can haul trailers and stuff like that, whatever. But get my truck, do that, go out to our headquarters range.
Yeah.
Headquarters, meaning our main, because we will have multiple.
Yeah.
Where I will go into my nice office area where I'll have my cigars and stuff like that, where I'm scheduling classes, looking at things, talking to instructors, looking at things, make sure everybody's doing what they got to be taken care of. But I'm not really doing anything. Like I feel I have an air of I have a false sense of importance, but the range takes care of itself kind of thing.
Yeah,
like I got people doing the job, and I'm like, why am I here? That's kind of what I want to be able to have the opportunity to be like, hey, Dex, I'm scheduling us to go fly to Arizona to our others range up there because there's a guy up there who's going to be teaching, counter sniper school, and you know what?
Counter sniper, that sounds good. I want that class myself.
So, like, that is what my dream would be. Is that I really want to be working. Who doesn't want to work for themselves? You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to be unfireable. You know what I mean? That's right. Kind of what like, and then literally it's just, hey, I'm traveling to places I want to travel to. Have you ever? I don't know about you, Dex, but have you ever had to travel like to different states for work before?
Yes.
So I thought I would like it. A good portion of it did. I would say probably about 70% of it I did.
Yeah.
30% of it I was like, people live here?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good part of town. And by good part of town, I mean, like, I have been in bad parts of town where I'm the wrong skin tone, and the right skin tone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is trash.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Like when I went to some mountain hillbilly hick town up in North Carolina, I swear to God, I wish there were subtitles that could pop up. I didn't understand a word this guy was saying. Like, when you're on here, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And my country accent came out, and I don't have one, but this is what came out to. I went, what?
Yeah.
Like, I hope he understood that. Like, even though I did it like that, he understands that I still don't know what the hell you're saying.
Yeah.
Nice enough people, but boy, I'm talking about that place looked run down. It looked like the trailer parks had tornadoes come through a few times. You know what I mean? They were bad. I've been in the real bad parts of town where all night long all I heard was sirens. You know what I mean? But you also had a lot of fan blowing on it too. So that's why I think you're burning so unevenly. But when I say travel for work, a dream of mine would be to travel to areas where we said, you know what, I want a range to be here because we like the area, we like the location, we like whatever. That's what I want, because then it becomes fun because it's not work at that point. Then you're enjoying what you're doing. I go home to my 50 acres of land, homesteading, off grid, because that's kind of what I want. I want to be off grid, homesteading for the most part. With modern amenities, I am not crazy. Yeah. I hope that I didn't get picked up on the mic because it's pointing down.
Yeah, probably did.
So, like, I want modern. I still want electricity.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be hooked up to the grid. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I still plan. I plan on having indoor plumbing, just not from the city. You know what I mean?
Makes sense. Yeah, so I've actually seen it done.
Oh yeah.
They build their own buildings with cement because they last better. Own plumbing, solar power, electricity. It's definitely been done.
I would have 3 sources of electricity, 3 sources of power. 3. Solar as my primary. Well, not primary, as one of them. Hydro. You can make, if you're next to running water.
Yep, that's the same pair.
I would make a hydroelectric. So that way I always have at least 2 sources, something like that, and possibly wind. So a small turbine, whatever. So I always have something. So if it's not cloudy out, hopefully it's windy and that water's still running, I'm still producing power. Yeah. And then I would still have a generator. Just in case.
Yeah, gotta have that, man, because
always gotta be prepared.
Always wanted the water. Oddly enough, you can look this up. The water wheel actually generates more electricity than nuclear plants do because they only turn on twice a year to produce all this energy. So all that energy crisis crap is bullshit. They only gotta run twice.
Well, you know what the problem with that is? Actually, the energy crisis stuff. It's a real thing, but you know why it's a real thing?
Why?
Because we don't have the infrastructure to supply it everywhere.
What?
That's the power. So we have these plants that would store the power and stuff like that. Our infrastructure, like for example, if we wanted to get power, like right now, Florida, which makes no sense, we're getting power from Georgia. We have nuclear plants here.
Yeah, there's one
right
down
here.
The block.
Yeah, we're getting power from Georgia. One of the problems is we don't have the infrastructure to get the power where we need to. So even though
how the hell we get it from Georgia?
So well, you got to
understand. Tell you some shit don't make no sense.
Well, that's because of how the power lines are connected and hooked. So, for example, the power plant here cannot supply power to, say, the Panhandle. We just don't have the infrastructure to get the power from here to there.
They got to get something closer to them.
Yeah. So and yeah. So a lot of times that's the problem. That's the problem with our infrastructures. We don't have the means to get it where we need
so you don't mean all of Florida. You just mean certain parts of Florida gets it from Georgia.
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking. It's not like the guys in the Keys are getting power from Georgia.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how does that make any sense? You know what I'm
saying?
So,
but you run into that problem a lot. A lot of times it's and the like I said, the energy crisis. Like you see California. California has nuclear plants too. Or did they close those down? Because I wouldn't be surprised if California did.
They probably got hit by a freaking earthquake or some nonsense like that.
But the energy crisis is easily avoidable. But they make too much money.
Exactly.
To
want to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's we're going to build these wind turbines that do not produce as much as nuclear power, and the carbon emission of nuclear power is zero. You know what I mean? But to make one of those wind turbines, it will never become a net negative. So what it requires to make one of those wind turbines, you'll never recoup that net negative. That not that negative. You'll never recoup that carbon footprint. Like I'm using an example. Don't ask me how they're measured.
It's just like the Tesla batteries. The amount of pollution it takes to make one Tesla battery is the same amount for having I think it's like 15 cars run for 30 years. It's like stupid as hell. It's stupid as hell.
And then you have California and 6 other states. By some of these other states, even before California, by 2035, they're no longer allowed to sell brand new, and I'm not sure if it's used, but brand new gas-powered vehicles. So by 2035, you'll no longer be allowed to buy brand new gas-powered vehicles. I'm not 100% sure about used.
I heard of it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But that's the thing. So if you want to buy a gas-powered vehicle, you have to go out to a different state.
Yeah, that's going to be retarded.
But yeah, so my dream really is to run Modern Sword, have multiple ranges. Right, he's got to go spit. Have multiple ranges. Have be close with family and friends all the time. Really, and it's like you said, it's very complex because my one day can be literally just. And if I don't want to go to work that day, I don't need to because the range is running itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I want to go visit one of my other ranges, I can. If I want, hey, I want to go shooting, then I'm gonna go shooting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me,
I said, what is yours?
So, my kind of perfect day, I would probably pull up to a range, DBS 9. I step out wearing a top of the line Dapper Dangerous suit.
You would.
And this suit would be moisture wicking. It would allow me to breathe. Like I would have this suit on,
right?
But the air is coming right through so that I could wear it in different temperatures and stuff like that. And
I never thought about what I would be wearing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just like
I'd be like, cargo pants.
Yeah, I'm saying come out real dapper, got my dapper shades on, I then go to the range. I pull out a pistol, probably most likely going to be a CZ because I really like that company. I'm about to get that CZ Shadow 2 as a competition gun. Shout out to my dog online who let me know about it. That or maybe I seen a full metal M&P Pro, which looks good. But I'm gonna have one of those nice guns over there, and I'm gonna go ahead and just completely slay pistol course, a rifle course, and then a shotgun course. I mean, just outperform everybody. You know what I'm saying? Get my little trophy. get back into Aston Martin, you know what I'm saying, and meet my family somewhere.
Mm.
And we're at a restaurant, a bunch of kids, whatever, wives, all that fun stuff. And they're like, "Hey, did you win?" And then one of my kids go, "Dad always wins." It's like, "Yeah, I did." You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to just dominate that industry, you know what I'm saying? Go out with the family, have a nice meal, you know what I'm saying, with them, and then it's just like, all right, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Roman needs me to, go to Arizona real quick, so I'll be back later, and I'll be able to be secure in being able to live my life and trust my wife to raise the kids, keep the household going. She knows she's taking care of. We're gonna have our time. You know what I'm saying? Go to Arizona, drive to the freaking airport in my Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? And I
probably would have a Hummer. I would be that guy. I would be I'd be like, I'm gonna get myself. Let me get a Gen 1 Hummer, and that's a gas guzzler. That's
I actually like the M2. That was the H2. That was my favorite one. But I want to be able to choose what sports car I want, have the trucks that I want, because I definitely starting to really love trucks, like a Denali, little souped up truck. Get to the airport. Hopefully, it's enough money for it to be. Actually, money's no object. Private airplane. And I'll pull it to start because I'm gonna fly the plane. Oh, because I got my pilot's license.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying? I fly myself in, or kind of get like a small jet, maybe a 6-seater, or like a new Cessna or some crap.
The Cessna,
like a new Cessna, like a Cessna size, because they're small planes,
right? But
they have these like jet planes that are that size, a little bigger, but around that size. You know what I'm saying? No 6 people in there, nothing too crazy. Be able to fly to whatever location.
But you really thought about this here. I'm like, I just don't want to get up at 6 in the morning.
And you know what's so funny about that? Like, my perfect day, I would start that early. Go to the gym, work out, you know what I'm saying? Give some time to God, study my Bible, you know what I mean? And then as I'm flying, throw that thing on autopilot, and I'm watching, one of the watching my script on film, one of the animes or stories that I've written. It's on film, it's doing well. You know what I'm saying? Get a call from the bank. Hey, about to go to the Cowboys game. We need some tickets. You know what I'm saying? Because I would like to own the Cowboys. I actually would like to own the Cowboys because Jerry, you be tripping. All right? Let the coach coach. Damn it, Jerry. But I would like to be part owner of the Cowboys, or have something in a sports team. But really what it just looks like is having multiple streams of income. But still being able to perform at the highest levels. Because I remember there's an older gentleman, and he said one of the worst things about getting old is no one thinks you're dangerous anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be able to maintain that level of proficiency on into, my older years. You know what I'm saying? But same thing with you, man. Homesteading, water wheel, solar power, and of course, generators. But really, what I actually want is a underground battery that's about the size. The whole unit's probably about the size of a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, but it generates power using water. It can be done very efficiently. I want Tesla coils to be able to run electricity through the whole campsite, so I don't have to plug anything in. All these things have been done, but the money aspect of it, they won't want you to have it. But if I'm off the grid and nobody knows I have it, I would really like to have that, so that way I'm not dependent on the system at all.
There is a hydroelectric generator.
Yeah.
And I saw it on a show. It was called Homestead Rescue. These guys are able to power the house on this water generator.
Yep.
Do you know how much water they used to it?
It's like a gallon or something.
It was from a creek, and it was probably the pipe size they used, maybe this big around, maybe right from a creek, and they were able to produce enough power for the whole house for everything: fridge, AC.
You want to know something
like that? And that generator might have been no bigger than this fire pit.
Yeah, I believe it. You want to know why? Nikola Tesla studied out how to get that done by studying the pyramids. The pyramids had electricity. That's how they worked. They had an underground canal, and what would happen is it was kind of canted. So what would happen is you would pour water down, the water would go up, and then it'll get to like a point to where the water would start running back down.
Uh-huh.
That running down, right, would spin the little things or whatever, and it would generate sound and energy, and that would go up to almost like a chimney, and that vibration would actually generate the electricity. And you only had to set it up once because the water was in a continuous flow,
right?
Because it built up, and then you would let gravity or whatever you want to call it get it to pull down, and it'll just continuously cycle, and it created abundant energy. And then they had the gold top, because gold is like the best metal for conducting electricity. Ran through the whole place. So all those little doors and stuff that slid open, because I remember one of the studies, they're like, yeah, you can't make this shit without power tools. How did they do it? They're so advanced. No, they had power tools. They had electricity running through the entire pyramids. All of them had it. All of them had it. Free electricity. But a lot of people were saying that's why those civilizations disappeared so quick, because they were able to make weapons, kind of like, I don't know if you saw that thing that happened in Hawaii. It was like, it burnt the cars and the pavement got burnt, but the trees were fine. And they were like, this is not a wildfire. Like, wildfire.
What's going on right now? What up there where Sleepy Joe fell asleep during the little survivors?
Joe.
He literally fell asleep.
Yeah, I didn't look into it, so I'm not saying this is a conspiracy theory I subscribe to, but I've seen it a couple of times, and it's very interesting because
when Daisy Dukes are riding up in here,
they talk about the next form of war, they will have energy weapons. So it's very interesting to see that you can melt a car, but the tree next to it is fine. That's weird. Like, what kind of energy can do that? You know what I'm saying? It's a weird type of weapon. But I don't doubt it, because in almost every world war we had, there was always some new technology, some new way of killing each other. That we come up with,
always what I'm saying? That way.
And then it wreaks havoc. Then it gets banned in Geneva Convention and all sorts of crap. So it's very, very interesting stuff, man. But
yes, I'll tell you what, man. Like you really put some thought into me, because it's not that I don't think about what I want to do. I think about moments.
I feel you.
Of what I want to do. Like there'll be times where I'm like I've told this before. One of the things that I want to do one day, mark my words, it's gonna happen, people. I want to have my own cigar line.
Hey,
I want to make my own. Like, I like
Taste
cigars. Yeah. So, but they would be literally like a modern sword cigar.
Yeah.
Like I get real deep into those things. Like, I would like to have my own cigar line. I want my own knife line. I blacksmiths like that. Now, granted, I'm never gonna make. I might make a few, but like I'm not gonna be in that line.
You just own the company.
Yeah, because it's like I get into those mindsets because I'm really into how they're made, the production. I like the quality. Like, because if here's the thing, if you get real good at something that's a craft, you start to see the flaws in all the mass-produced stuff.
Yep.
You really do. So, like, for example, in cigars, the reason why I like Perdomo so much is because the meticulousness they put into every single cigar, how much they test it, all the just even the
now
way
it's smoky, now it's burning right too.
just like how they, everything, how they water their plants, the soil, how they're rolled, how every single cigar is draw tested, how like even they make their own boxes, they make their own silver. When they make their own boxes, they harvest their own trees, they pick the best trees from, like they do everything, and so you can see the quality. But then when you look at some other things, you're like, this is not a good quality anything.
Yeah.
So like here, I make knives, like, and I know good quality knives from real crappy knives now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you now, the vast majority of your kitchen knives are straight trash, garbage, period. So, but that's just like for me, the way I look at my dream, I see it in segments, in moments. Like I can see myself sitting on my porch at home on my 50 to 100 acres of land where I'm homesteading. I got my own power, like, and just enjoying being there. I see myself working at Modern Sword headquarters, going to different ranges, doing different things, planning certain things. Like I see myself hiking the Appalachian Trail. Because if one day,
is that the 6 month shit you told me about?
Yeah, it's 6 months of hiking, six to 8 months to hike every single day.
Shit.
And that's like, one day I could do that. And so to me,
I do that with you.
It's moments in time that I see. Like,
what is life but the moments we live for, right?
Yeah, so it's like, like, what kind of car am I going to drive up in? See, to me, the car is not important. Now, it's not to say that I don't like certain vehicles, but when we went to the car shows years ago, what cars was I looking at predominantly? The big
the old Mustang,
well, I would look.
Chevys.
I like the muscle car look.
I think if it was like the SS Camaro, it was like a blue one or something like that.
Or, yeah, I like that's like my favorite. It's not even a Camaro. It's actually the
Nova.
No, well, I had a Nova, but yeah, I like it. I guess it would be a Camaro. Yeah, it's a Chevy, Chevy SS steel.
Yeah, it's a Camaro.
So, but I was always out there looking at, like, look at this van. It's got so much room. Like, I don't care. I like luxury. I like comfort.
That one burnt me, so I think I'm done.
So that was always me. I'm a guy that likes comfort, luxury. I don't really consider
let it die.
Yep, you just let it die when you're done.
Is that last draw burnt my lip?
You're probably pulling a little too fast for it. But yeah, that was my thing. It's like, what am I gonna wear? At times I've actually made this joke with Alex, right, Alex? Where
yeah.
I'm like, I would show up to work one day just wearing full battle rattle kind of thing. I would have the vest on, all the thing, the helmet, whatever, nods, you name it. Just show up being a goofball, just doing shit like that. Another thing I always want to do is like, dude, I'm like, again, in a moment, I want to show up to one of my ranges one night. I got a bunch of tracers, and guess what we're going to be doing? We're going to be shooting some tracers, man. We're going to have fun. We're going to do some night ops. You know what I mean? We're going to go through the mount site. I want to have a mount site. Okay?
Yeah.
And which is like a fake town you go through and you learn how to fight or something like that. So I want to go to a mount site. Like, we're going to do some night ops. And with just have fun. Like, what I mean? Like, that's how I envision it. It's like, because every day for me is different. Like I said, I don't mind starting at 6 a.m., but I'd rather not.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like, no,
I like going to the gym in the morning was cooler.
I hate going to the gym that early. I don't have the energy for it. But it's funny. I can wake up 8 o'clock in the morning, no problem. 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'll roll out of bed just fine. 6, I'm like, you're out of your mind. So.
That's funny. At 6, I could take naps. Days where I take naps, I get that sweat on the back of my neck. Those are good days. On a tree with a hammock, I could just go.
Have you ever slept in a hammock?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Awful.
They're not comfortable.
No, they're awful. It's because
very few ones are comfortable.
It's because you're shaped like a banana.
Yeah.
So you know how you hammock camp? There's a way to hammock camp properly. And that is, if you're all right, so for all you hikers out there, the way you do it is you set your hammock up and you don't lay in the middle of it, you lay at an angle.
Yeah.
And they'll actually let you lay more flat.
Yeah.
So you don't actually lay in the hammock in the middle, folded up like a banana or bent like a banana. You actually lay it at an angle.
Yeah, I've seen them where it's more like, it's like a hammock, but it's more straight.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And it has the string, so it kind of gives you that like rocking motion to put a lot of pillows on it. It was at one of these places in, Motor Beach, South Carolina. They had a hotel there that's kind of modeled after the Grand Wailea in Hawaii. And I was actually able to take a nap in that one. That was nice, man. But yeah, definitely, being able to homestead and then also having a condo somewhere in New York. Mm-hmm. I don't really like being in New York anymore, but New York does have a lot of cool things in there that I do enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to live there. So being able to have a condo up there.
You know what's funny?
Would be nice.
That's not even a place I want to visit. I visited once.
Yes.
And I did not like it. It's like, that's
because my family's there.
Well, see, me, like, what's funny is the like, I know there's a lot of people that love the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. I can't. Like, I feel so at home when I go out literally in the middle of nowhere. Like, with my wife and I and the kids, we rent a cabin. We rented this cabin. And when I say the nearest town really was just about maybe 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
It was a one-light town, legitimately. One light, one flashing yellow light.
Sounds like Okeechobee used to be. Right.
Their grocery store was only open Monday through Friday from like 9 to 5. So here we had to go pick up stuff.
A grocery store not open on the weekends?
Yep.
Wow.
From 9 to 5. Dude, wow. You know where we had to go to get groceries and stuff over up there? Right. There was a Dollar General. And this Dollar General I fell in love with because they had everything.
I bet.
Because that was like
That was the only thing.
That was the only thing open.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I mean, like, literally, there was nothing, and it was so peaceful, so nice. It was great. You know what I mean? Like, and if we wanted to, if we drove like 30, 35 minutes, we could get to a bigger town where there was a Walmart or something like that. So we were far away, far enough away from the hustle and bustle of life that was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I want to be. Like, I never, like, where we live is just getting way too busy.
Yeah.
And I can't stand it. Oh, they're wanting to raise our taxes. Raise our taxes. They just raised them.
Yeah.
And now I just got a thing in the mail. They're going to raise them again.
Yep.
Another $30.
Third most expensive state to live now, behind California and New York.
Yep.
Thanks.
Port St. Lucie's also now become, I think, is now the most expensive county to live in, or the second or something like that, behind Miami, I think.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, the rent for the apartments in Miami is almost the same as PSL because all those guys kept moving up there.
Yep.
Bastards.
Unreal. Port St. Lucie. When I first moved here,
small town, bro.
When I first moved here, everyone was, don't move here. There's no industry. There's nothing there. There's nothing to do. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
So I paid, okay, shocker guys, I paid less than $100,000 for my home. Less than 90,000. Less than 90,000.
Now their houses are 400,000.
My house now,
freaking paid.
My house is worth, according to whatever, $332,000 now. I would not pay that for this house, just so you guys are aware. But that's how crazy, how busy, how big it got, you know, and it's just nuts. And that's what's like, like a dream for me would be moving out. Like right now, my 5-year goal is to move out west to Okeechobee.
Yeah.
That's my goal right now, is move out west to Okeechobee. 5 years.
Okeechobee's looking like a good spot, my brother. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but that's our time.
Yep.
For today on the Gentleman's Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about the episode. Also, put in the comments what topics you would like to see us talk about, opinions on guns, training methods, whatever you want.
Favorite food, even your color. You like long walks on the beach.
You know what I'm saying?
Stuff like that.
We're well versed in a lot of different things. We'll be able to talk about almost anything. We're jack of all trades, master of none, but a jack of all trades is always better than a master of one. Yes, indeed. So any closing thoughts here, my
friend? None right now. Remember, guys, I do have one closing thought here. Just something to keep in mind, guys, because we're coming up to an election cycle, and a lot of things are popping up I'm seeing lately. Remember who you're voting for. And make sure you really check to see what their policies are going to be. The reason I state that is because I'm going to throw it out there. Brandon Herrera, the AK guy who's running for senator.
What is he called?
The AK guy.
Not the AR guy. Gotcha, the AK guy.
But he defends the AR because, because, sorry, he's still working on the AK-50. Eventually it will get done. Maybe
he's running for president.
He's not running for president yet. He's running. He's running,
other things to do.
I think
state senator.
Yeah, he's running for representative. He's District 23. And the reason why I bring this up is because the guy he's running against is a conservative.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but the guy is pro gun restrictions. He's anti kind of Second Amendment and stuff like that. So the reason why I bring that up is that you're going to find a lot of politicians are, I'll use like Brian Mast. I don't like Brian Mast. He's my representative he's our representative, actually. Sorry. So he's our representative, but he wanted to ban AR-15s and stuff like that and so on and so forth. And, and my thing is this, guys. Be mindful of what they promise, because here's the thing. If they take away your rights, like Gavin Newsom's trying to do, they take away your right to defend yourself, and they're bribing you. If you vote for me, I'm going to take this way, but I'm going to give you this. Just remember, once they take this from you, they will take that back.
Yeah, they don't have to give it to you because who's going to make them? They got all the guns. They got all the power.
So
you can't do anything, you pansy.
So I'm seeing a lot of political things pop up lately, and I just want you guys to be very aware. Start looking now because we have yeah, you have the different, what are they called? The people
Candidates?
candidates, yeah, running. Oh God, thank you, running like president, and so that's trying to come up now.
They're running like presidents.
They're running for like the president. See, like Ron DeSantis was, but he's not doing so hot and stuff like that. So be mindful who you're going to vote for. Watch out for who you're looking for. Only reason I guess I bring that up is because I'm seeing a lot of things now. Like I'm not going to talk about it right now, but like Gavin Newsom, what he's doing, proposing the 28th Amendment, stuff like that. So be mindful of that, guys. Start looking into it now, so that way when the primaries come around, you get the right people out and the wrong people out, the right people in, and you don't lose your rights. Because ultimately, guys, I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. I'm done. Thank you for guys tuning in. I will talk to you guys later. And Dex, close it out for us.
All right, as usual, guys, I'm gonna give you guys one tip: find someone better than you at things you like doing, and learn from them. That way, you can stay dapper and always dangerous. Shout out to my boy Model One Inc. He made this dope fly shirt. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. I might leave him in the description, but he's pretty cool. I like his stuff. But that's it. Stay dapper, always dangerous. Thanks for chilling with the gentleman's corner.
Yeah, whatever. Bye.
Whatever. Cut.